Life of an FSO.
Welcome back to Life of an FSO. And I wanted to hop on here today and talk about a few things, but first and foremost, we just wrapped up the Chief birthday on the 1st. So happy birthday, Chiefs. Happy belated birthday. I did a reel with my senior chief, and then we did a cake cutting. So it was pretty cool. The Chiefs went and did colors. That's like standard for the Navy Chiefs. And then the week before that, if I could be off by a couple days, but I will say the week before that or 2 weeks before the Chief birthday, the board results came out. So if you've seen my last episode, Navy Board 101 on MyNavyHr is a big help. If you haven't been on there, hop on MyNavyHr and get those packages together. Check your BOL, do your continuity report, scrub, and make sure that you got all your evaluations lined up. If you're missing any awards, this is the time to get all that together. And get those package reviews. You know, if you got a chief or a master chief or senior chief or anybody that, you know, that probably just either just made it, or some of those master chiefs that went out there and, selected some folks, that it'd be good to sit down with them within your rate, outside your rate. You know, they can give you some good feedback, on how the board process works. But if you want to go ahead and, you know, get some information, like it literally breaks down everything on my, MyNavyHr. So again, if you need any guidance, any help, reach out to your senior leadership and they can point you in the right direction on getting that good feedback. Definitely those that actually sat aboard, that's kind of like their thing. So you should be reaching out to them, getting some good feedback on what the board really is looking for. But again, they made it easy for us this year on MyNavyHr, Navy Board 101. It tells you from the beginning to the end, start to finish, on how the boards actually work. So it's a lot of good information on there. Check it out. I got a few folks that did reach out to me like, hey, could you look at my package? Or, hey, I'm working on this. Could you take a look at it? I have not sat a Navy Chief board. I can give you my perspective. I'm really just going to take the career ladder and kind of like match things up. And, you know, I can't tell you if you're going to make it or not. Excuse me. It took me 8 tries to make it. So, you know, I would just say stay consistent. But when your time comes, it's your time. So if you are up for it, congratulations. If you didn't make it this time, you know, reevaluate, do a self-assessment, take a look at some things that you could do better. Score higher on the exam might be number one, because it's not a magic number. Just keep studying and make board. That's the most that you can do is make board. So perfect your craft now, and you know, next year is just around the corner. So keep studying, keep training, keep leading. Um, and that's pretty much a lot that I could say for you, if you didn't make it. But if you did make it, the time to get that record together was like last year. You should be, managing your record. My take on that is, if you can't manage your record, how can you manage a sailor's record? So, if your record's squared away, you should be showing your sailors how to do that. So, if you're missing awards, missing evals, uh, run that continuity report and, scrub your BOL, OMPF, and make sure you're, in line. Everything's lining up. Other than that, the most that I can give you is your package. Whatever you want to submit is your package. But I would highly encourage you, the things that they're asking for on your career ladder, when it's consideration to make chief or senior chief or master chief, you might want to slide those type of things in there. Just, off for me, for my sanity, I've never been to the board, but I mean, somebody's reviewing your stuff. And if they're saying they have to review your package, I would highly encourage you to submit everything that they're looking for that's under the consideration for chief, senior chief, or master chief. So, in a couple of weeks, we probably should be getting the, master chief and senior chief ranks. The board results, they should be going on right about now, if I'm correct. Uh, so again, good luck to you all, and there's more to come. Now that we talked about the chief board and everything, a couple of things I wanted to talk about that, I would say that kind of bothered me this week. So we got this new, from the Secretary of War. He pretty much said that we can, open carry on base or carry on personal weapons. I'm kind of 50-50 with it. One, because being in the Navy, and I know how hard it was in the duty section to get people gun qualified. I just don't think everybody should be able to carry on base. When anytime I was on base and there was a specific thing that happened, let's say when I was in Hawaii and there was an actual active shooter, it's protocols for that. It's security doing their job. I don't think anyone has to go out there and be John Wayne with their own gun. We had security forces that pretty much took care of business and did their job. Do I think you should carry out in town? Absolutely. But on base, I just don't think everyone should be armed, whether it's personal or you're standing watch. I just don't think everybody should be armed with the ready at the ready if something happens on base, because I think it's just going to be confusing for security forces. So unless you're one of those watches, just me in particular, I just don't feel like you should have to carry on base. Now outside of base, absolutely. I'm a firm believer. I have my concealed weapons license. I'm gonna put myself out there as, yeah, I carry. I actually absolutely do. Do I think I need to carry on base? No, I don't think I need to, carry my stuff on base, because that's behind that blue line is probably the safest you're going to be. If something was to pop off. So, that's just me. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some type of formalities. There's going to be you got to route a chit, and there's got to be some things that got to be in line with what the commander of your base, is going to need. It got to be a set guidelines. Just because it was put out there, last week, that don't mean, coming on base Monday morning, you can just carry your weapon. There will be some type of formalities and chits and, hell, even instructions that's going to have to go down before that's even a thing. But I see it a lot on social media. People just take heed and, just jump out there. But it's a lot that needs to be considered before that is a thing. I get it. It's a thing, but we still have to establish some type of guidelines. It's going to have to be, an instruction written. So stand by for that. I wouldn't say just go ahead and go to work and start, requesting to carry your weapons if that's what you want to do. Until you get further guidance. So, it makes sense to somebody in leadership. Just for me, I just don't think everyone on base should be carrying. And, my perspective is different from everybody else's. I just don't think it's a need for that. But by all means, if you want to be a part of, ISF, or you want to be a part of the surf and birth teams, have at it. Get your gun quals And, if I was a commanding officer, that'd probably be the number one thing. But if you're just some regular person that just wants to carry and have no formal training, I would probably put no on that. So, if it's coming through my lines, that's just a comfortability fact for me. If you don't have weapons familiarization or anything like that, why would I have you just carrying on base? Just because you're in the military. If you got expert ribbon, cool. But can you handle it? Do you shoot on a regular? Do you maintain your quals with weapons fam? Are you mentally ready to carry every day? Those are the type of things that a lot of people don't understand. Um, that we have to do every time we get our it's time to re-up on our gun qualifications. So it's not just you sign a paper and you just go to the armory. It's levels to this. So I think it's more so the people that need to carry, they're carrying already on base. So if it was me, it's not me. I'm just going to enforce it, but I'm going to always, comment what I think about what's going on in our Navy, because it's a lot of things that I don't agree with. And these are one of the things that I don't necessarily say I 100% agree with everyone carrying on base, because I think it will definitely become a hindrance if something did happen. Security forces take care of security force. Uh, and if and you've been on base, like if you are in the middle of, an actual casualty, you might just get taken down, because you're in the way. So I just think, we need to be less in the way and, and, protect yourself when you're outside of the blue line. Inside the blue line, I think we're, pretty safe, for the most part. Um, and that's just all I gotta say about that. But if you feel anything, hop in the comments, jump in the comments. Let me know how you think. Some people might feel different, and I would like to hear, how you feel about these new changes for carrying on base. So let me know in the comments. Hop in the comments. Let me know, and we can have a discussion. Um, that's how I feel about that. And we're back. Um, so there's some things I do want to talk about that, you know, got the shirt on, got the orange hat, and, my health. We'll talk about my health for a minute. Recently I've been trying different medicines, and, it makes me feel away, and, um, I kind of self-reflect on how these different medicines work. So I still do my infusions. I got one coming up in June. Um, and I don't like taking a lot of pills and a lot of different things. Like I kind of intake on some of my vitamins, but that's what works for me. I don't like taking a lot of different medicines and trying to try stuff out, because initially I do have like pains in my back. I have like body trembles. I have like, where I had like a burning sensation on my skin. And I think, me personally, I really think that that was just like a relapse, because I have the relapse and remitting, version of MS. And it's a couple of versions of this, terrible, terrible disease that, it really affects you, mentally, physically, um, and it's something that I really can't explain some days. Even my memory is sometimes shot. As you can see, I'm wearing glasses now, but it kind of helps with my vision. It does affect my vision, specifically my left eye. Um, and it's days that I just don't want to do anything. And, that might be why I have so many gaps in episodes or whatever's going on. But, initially I was on a couple of different, medicines, checking them out, trying to see how it works for the body pain. And it really just kind of put me to sleep. So I self-reflected and I just was like, you know what? I'm not going to take these unless I'm in like dire pain. Um, I stay, lifted, uh, in spirit. I think, my family helps me out the most. Sailors that I work with, they always ask me how I'm doing. And, sometimes I'm not at work because, I'm at like different appointments because like this disease, it affects so many things. And, sometimes I got to get my eyes checked. I got to get like blood work done, or I'm getting like MRIs, or I'm getting, I got a spinal tap before. Like that was probably the worst pain of my life. But, excuse me, just living with this and continuing to serve, it does take a toll on me. And I, continue to go to, seek a therapist and, kind of just talk to them and find different ways on how to manage, this disorder. I don't like calling it a disease, but I mean, it is what it is. But, uh, MS doesn't have me. I have MS, multiple sclerosis. So, for those that haven't seen my last couple of episodes, like, the employee episode, the first Stang Hat episode, the Hope Snapback, uh, all those things culminate, and kind of help me, um, get through the worst parts of it. Just staying busy, I think, helps the most. One thing in particular that I want to get back to doing that, that's like a fear of mine is, running. Cause I used to run like long distance, like a lot. And then I went to school. I did a little, 5K or something like that, the PRT. And then, uh, I got diagnosed with MS and it was just like, um, I had restrictions. So I want to build back up to, maybe not what I was, but, a standard level of like running outside. But, again, like it's getting warmer. The heat, affects this disease. So it might have to run to like, I might have to run in a controlled temperature area. Um, it's a lot of things, but, uh, I think the resilience behind it all is, um, wanting to finish my career, wanting to, you know, continue to mentor, to continue to teach, continue to, inspire, but the story's bigger than that. Um, I think I'm doing that. I think it's just more so a pride thing, but, I've been all right for the most part. I haven't had any relapses, but, usually when I do, it's like right before my infusion. So, I kind of be like just watching the clock and the calendar, like, yeah, it's coming. And, it's usually right before I do my infusion, which is in June. So, I might be in a different, I might feel different right around May, but for the most part, I'm doing pretty well. Uh, Thank you for everybody that be checking up on me, just asking like how you doing and stuff like that. So, uh, it's okay. I'm doing all right. Um, I don't think I lost anything. Uh, my memory sometimes is shot, but other than that, I'm still moving, still sharp, still, Team Scudder's keeping me together. They keep me, motivated. Those sailors definitely keep me motivated. So I'm gonna continue on and see how it goes. Um, what's cool about all of this is, I actually, in December, whenever the actual message comes out, I put on Chief Warrant Officer 3. So that's pretty exciting. So 3 years that went by, commission this December, which is, a feat, for some folks. they might feel like, oh, well, it's automatic and, this and that. Well, yeah, it's automatic, but, if you knew CSSN banks or CS2 banks, I would never thought I would have been a warrant officer. Just fighting at it, getting at it, getting at it, getting at it. Uh, who knows? Break. Let's talk about, warrant officers, right? So this year, this December, I actually hit 3 years. And the NAV admin hasn't dropped yet, but the official NAV admin, but the board is in June. So I'm being reviewed for Chief Warrant Officer 3. And that's pretty cool. Who would have thought I'd have been a warrant officer? Who would have thought I would have been here? Yeah, it was a goal, it was an aspiration of mine, but who would have thought I actually be doing the job at year 22, going on 23 in August of a warrant officer, a food service warrant at that. Um, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have put that on my bingo card for 2022 that, I was going to make chief. I'm going to put that on my bingo card in 2023 that, I'd be a warrant officer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have never thought that year 20 in the Navy, I was going to get selected to be a warrant officer. But, above all, I'm grateful, truly humble. So many people have asked me to either, be in their retirement or be their reenlisting officer. Like that alone is like payment enough. Like I don't have to get another award. I don't have to get another congratulations. Hey, your team's doing great. Just fulfilling those duties alone is fulfilling. So um with that being said, yeah, I put on Chief Warrant Officer 3 in December. Um, continue to fulfill these last 3 years of obligation. And if you know the track record for the Chief Warrant Officer, it's kind of like that year 6 you get looked at and you potentially be putting it on the next year for 4, that is, because you don't get looked at the same year you're up. You're kind of like an end zone, below zone, and above zone. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and hop on MyNavyHr and administrative, go to boards, and then click on LDO, Chief Warrant Officer, and start reading, like in that Chief Warrant Officer handbook. So it tells you what all those things is. We're not going to go into that, but I'll probably drop the link in the below. And I know I'm kind of going all over the place. That's just how my mind works. But, yeah, so, um, that's that. And, yeah, I'll be up for 3. I'm probably gonna do like a small ceremony, nothing like my commissioning, but do something because I think it's important. And if you don't make it important, then it won't be important. So I'm gonna try to make it important, whether it's just at the galley with my family and sailors and friends. That'll be dope. But if not, then we'll make it bigger. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll do it at the chapel or something. I don't know. I haven't made it up in my mind, but I need to, start thinking about it because before you know it, it'll be December 1. And then, I gotta, put on the rank. So other than that, um, I've been working on this pod. I got a couple of ideas in my mind. Um, but I haven't really sat down and laid out the foundation. So I did like some, some brainstorming on it, but it's coming soon. It's developing, and when it does, I'll drop the information, and and who's gonna be my first interviewee and all that stuff. So it's more to come. I'm still having fun. So for right now, it's just me and the camera. And if you got any questions, drop them in the comments or inbox me, and I'll definitely answer them on the next episode. But shout out to everybody that's especially the CSs that's out there putting on for their commands. And I see a lot of amazing things in the 476, which is our like magazine. If you're ranked doesn't have a magazine. Shame on you, but we do. But shout out to all those sailors that's doing amazing things at shore and sea. I salute you. And that's all I have on that. It's getting kind of late. I'm gonna hang it up for the night. But that's all I got. Take it easy. Thank you for all the subscribers. Everybody that likes, share, subscribe. Appreciate you. If you bought some merch, thank you. And it's still April, so anything that happens in April is going to get donated to the National MS Society. So it started, today's the 5th. So it started 4 days ago. So if you haven't, go ahead and purchase. Make your purchases now, because 10% of those sales from the MustangLife247.com by buying merchandise, apparel, whatever, is going to get donated. So take heed, and catch y'all later. Peace.